idea when I got pregnant was to have my baby be diaper-free, and so I'm going to explain to you what that means and how it's been going. Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is just a little update on diaper-free. I will link the videos down below, but when I was pregnant, it was definitely my intention to do the diaper-free method, or another way to call it is the elimination communication or infant potty training. I feel like there's so many names out there for this. Basically, what diaper-free means is trying to give your child from early stages the ability to use the bathroom like we do as adults. So you eliminate the potty training at toddler stage and you just start it straight from the beginning. According to this method, it says that basically the natural instinct of a baby is not to sit around in a wet diaper, and that when they need to go to the bathroom, it's much better to have the chance to go to the bathroom and then have nice, dry, clean clothes and skin. And so this was something that I was really interested in. I've seen my friends do it and I've seen it successfully work. So I was very, very excited about doing it. My desire was to start straight from birth, and just as a new mom, I was so overwhelmed that did not happen. But I did start at about 2.5 weeks, and I was really surprised at how easily it went. It's really amazing. And I just want to talk about a little bit of the things that have been helpful to me in my personal experience, and some tips if you're looking to try this. Diaper-free is not something that you have to start straight at the beginning. If if your baby is past 6 months and you're like, oh, I'd like to try that, but now it's too late. It's not too late. I actually just recently gave my friend the book, Diaper-Free, and she has a 6-month-old baby and she is successfully doing it as well now. So every stage it's just a little bit different because of where your child is developmentally, but it's totally worth trying if you have the time to do so. You can even do it part-time if you work during the day and say you wanted to do it in the morning or you wanted to do it after you come home from work. It really is up to you how much of this you want to do and when you want to do it, and I found it to be really cool, actually. For my baby, since I started him so young, any kind of little top hat potty or the insert of like a toddler potty was just way too big because he was going to just be falling through. I would just kind of drop his little bottom into the whole pot, and I didn't find that that worked for such a tiny baby, but if you have an older baby, that might be really great for them. So the thing that has worked for us is allowing him to pee into the sink, and I know you might be thinking that's disgusting, but honestly, a drain is a drain. You know, it's just infant pee and poop. It's pretty clean, and then I always clean up the sink straight afterward. Diaper-free doesn't mean that you're letting your kid run around without pants all day, because like for me, it's kind of cold here and he needs to have something on his bottom parts so he doesn't get chilly. The aim and the effort is to give him as many opportunities to go to the bathroom without wetting his diaper. And I use a couple things as backups, and these I've found to be the most helpful. When we're just around home, I'm using the Oh So Cozy pre-fold. These are organic cotton and bamboo. These are really big, the size that I got. Just based on reviews, they said that they run really small, so I thought, oh, let me get the next size up, and they're giant on him. It's almost like a blanket, but if I put him in those and then swaddle him, that's what I keep him in at night, and then when we're just kind of around the house and he's in a blanket, I just keep him in that as well. When we go out, I've been loving these G diapers, which were a recommendation from my friend. They're cloth, they're cotton, and they're really soft. They Velcro together in the back so that once he's able to kind of reach and grab things, he's not going to rip them off from the front, which I really, really like. I love how soft they are. There's a couple options with these. They have an insert inside, and you can use a disposable insert, which is what I actually have used when we've gone out like to the grocery store or to different people's houses. And the disposable insert, what I like about it is that it's compostable and it's also flushable, which is really amazing. I didn't want to use anything disposable because I didn't want it heading to the landfill and not ever decomposing. But the fact that you can compost this and flush this is a huge plus to me. Also, I have some cloth inserts that are hemp, and I got these on Amazon for pretty cheap. They're really thick, really absorbent, and I just pop those right into the G diaper cover as well, and those are working really great for me as well. With the pre-folds at night, I know immediately when he has wet himself, and then basically what I'm trying to do is if I don't catch his pees or poop, I can feel when he's wet, and then I'm able to change him right away so that he kind of gets used to the fact that he doesn't like the way it feels when it's wet, and he will either give me some kind of signal or a little cry to know that it's time to change his diaper, and basically that I missed the signal to begin with. Right off the bat, I caught his very first pee, which I was really excited about. It was really encouraging to me. I know it sounds really simple, but if you do try this, you'll understand what I mean. Holding him over the sink, turning the water on just slightly so it's a little trickle and kind of relaxes him, and he went pee right away. I was so astonished, so surprised. And for the most part, I'd say between my husband and I, we are catching the majority of pees and poops. However, there's still misses. There's still times when I think, oh, I think he might have to pee, and then I'm like, no, it's not been that long, and then my instinct was actually right, and I missed it. And that's okay. That's part of the deal. That's why we have a washing machine and a dryer, and using all these cloth kind of backups, it's okay. He's not peeing on everything. There have been, of course, a couple mistakes where he's peed on the couch or the bedspread, but again, those things are totally washable and it's an easy cleanup. Whenever he wakes up from either a nighttime or a nap, the first thing I do is bring him to the sink to give him an opportunity to pee. I feel like this is always the one that will definitely get a pee unless we're off sync somehow. If he's, slept for a few hours, sometimes he even goes up to 4 hours and his diaper is still dry, which is always so incredible to me, and I'm always so happy and proud of him. I take him straight to the sink and allow him to pee, and I tell him, good job, you're going pee or you're going poop. And I just kind of say those things out loud. As he develops, he can understand what I'm saying when I'm saying pee and poop, and he really already gets the signs, which is amazing to me. Another thing to do is to trust your instinct. When you feel like they have to pee or poop, you're probably right. There's been so many times I've brushed away my instinct and I have been dead on and then come to a wet diaper, which is totally fine, but I've really learned to trust my instinct more. I've learned his patterns and his timings. Every baby is probably different, but for my baby, in the morning, he pees really frequently, like every 10 to 15 minutes. So I have to be on top of it in the morning. And then as the day goes on, he pees less frequently, but still, it's at least like once or twice an hour. If I give him the opportunity, he will normally go. I kind of understand when his poops are happening as well, and I'm sure every baby is different, so getting on that rhythm with them. And there's a couple things that I feel like are signs with my baby. He'll do like a meh when he needs to pee or he has just peed, and then when he needs to poop, he will just kind of stop and stare and just focus, and that's when it all happens. And so also another thing for my baby, I don't know if this is for anybody else's, but sometimes he'll get hiccups after breastfeeding, and after he's had hiccups for a little bit, he's kind of fussy and upset. And so I find that if I bring him to go to the sink, if I give him the opportunity to try and pee or poop, he normally does, because all of those things are connected and he wants to get those little gases out. It normally helps his hiccups stop if he poops or pees, and also he sometimes spits up. So everything comes out at once, but then he feels better. A lot of people, when I first mentioned that I was going to be trying this, they were saying, good luck, because breastfed blowouts are going to be such a disaster and such a mess. It's going to be so messy for you to try and do this over the sink, and it's just never going to happen. However, I found it to be the exact opposite. I find it to be so much easier to clean up when I'm able to catch his poops in the sink. It doesn't have that blowout effect because it just blows down instead of out. There's only been one time when I haven't caught like a breastfed blowout, if you want to call it that, and I saw how messy that could be. It actually did get on his back and down his legs, and it was everywhere. But actually, I feel that it's so much cleaner to be using this diaper-free method, because you just put it in the sink, you wash it with water, and down it goes. And he's not full of poop from his head to his toes. And for those of you who think that, okay, well, this is really the lesser of two evils, now you're washing your cloth diapers all the time and you're still harming the environment. I think it really is a lesser of two evils, because if you use disposable diapers, obviously completely up to you and your choice. The reason I chose to not use disposable diapers is because they do not decompose. Those diapers, since disposable diapers have been invented, they're still sitting there in the landfill. Those are not going anywhere. And think about all the millions of babies that use disposable diapers. This is just environmentally a big deal. And using cloth diapers or cloth diapers as a backup is a huge way to kind of lessen your footprint in that way, in my opinion. When I'm home, or when my husband's home and at night, I feel like those are the times when I'm really kind of getting the hang of this. It's really becoming something that is able to control. He understands that he needs to wait to pee and poop most of the time. I'd say like 80% of the time, he gets it. Sometimes he pees, sometimes he poops, and it's all good. But the time when I'm still having some problem is when I go out. I will definitely give him the opportunity to go pee before we leave, and then if I feel like he's needing to go to the bathroom once we get to a store or something, I will do that. But sometimes we're off sync, and if he gets in the car seat, which he doesn't really like, and he's fussy or just starts really crying, he always pees, and that's okay. you know, those are just times that we're going to have to get used to each other and get on a better schedule with each other. But for the most part, this is really working out really well. I noticed a kind of shift, or like, I think they call it like a potty pause, after I brought him over to my mom's for a couple of days, just to help me out. I was just frazzled and needed like some rest time, and so she was watching him, but she was like, I don't want to do that diaper-free thing. I don't have any interest in doing it, and which is totally fine. She's helping me out and take care of him, so whatever she wants to do is all good. But in that time, she had him in disposable diapers, and then of course he can't really tell when he's wet because all of those diapers really do soak up the wetness. And so after that, when I came home, it took a couple of days to get back into sync on remembering when we're peeing and pooping and stuff like that. Regarding laundry and cleaning the cloth diapers, I just want to mention a couple things that I've come across. At first I was using Honest Company washing detergent, but I actually ended up giving him a really bad rash. He still has it a little bit, but it's much better. And then I switched over to Charlie's Soap Company, and this is extremely pure. It only has like 3 or 4 ingredients in it. You use such a tiny amount, and it's working really well. It helps get stains out, and it smells like nothing, which is like the cleanest nothing that can be. It doesn't smell like flowers or fakeness or anything like that. It just smells nothing and clean at the same time. And then for stain removal, what I've been using is this Bunch of Farmers stain removing stick, and it's really great. It takes out any poop stains, anything that we've spilled on ourselves. It takes out beet juice, which is pretty amazing. And then when I time it correctly, if I do laundry and then I pull the cloth diapers out of the wash and I can put them out in the sun to dry, to air dry, A, I'm not spending more electricity on drying, and B, the sunlight bleaches out any stains. So between the combination of all of those things, keeps the cloth diapers nice and clean. The bottom line is, for me, this is working really well. I feel really like accomplished, and I know that might seem silly, but I feel like I'm doing my son a really good service in his life. He's gonna be potty trained probably before 1 or around 1, and he won't have to go through all that relearning of potty training later and the frustration that that can bring. And it's also super cute to watch him pee. When he looks at himself in the mirror, I just want to crack up. He's so cute. He just sees his little face, and he's so funny to watch. And it's such a great bonding experience for mother and child and for daddy and child, and I highly recommend it. I recommend reading this book. Also, go ahead and check out Go Diaper-Free. The woman's name is Andrea, and she also has some videos on YouTube that are really helpful, and I recommend listening to that. She also has a podcast too that you can take a listen to, just to kind of encourage you and get you on the right track if this is something that you want to try. It does take a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but what doesn't? If there's something that you really want and you see those results and you want those results, it takes time, it takes effort, and it's all worthwhile. Same goes with this being diaper-free. If you guys have any questions, I'm in no way an expert, but I do feel like this has been going really well, and I can answer whatever you have or direct you to some resources that I have read that have been encouraging to me. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're not subscribed already, please do, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.